You are not struggling with money, you are struggling with your mind, and you have been blaming the wrong enemy this entire time. Here is what nobody tells you. Epictetus, one of the most psychologically advanced human beings who ever lived, was born a slave. No salary, no savings, no rights. His owner once broke his leg just to prove a point, and Epictetus looked at him calmly and said, "I told you that would break." No rage, no begging. Just a man so completely in control of his inner world that physical destruction couldn't touch him. If that sounds impossible to you, good. Keep watching, because by the end of this, you will understand exactly how he did it and why it works, whether you earn 1,000 a month or 100,000. The one idea that rewires everything. Epictetus built his entire philosophy on a single line from the Enchiridion. Some things are in our control and others not. 5 words. That's the whole game. What is yours? Your judgment, your response, your character under pressure. What is not yours? Your salary, your savings, your portfolio, the economy, the market, the company that decides your contract next quarter. Here is where most people destroy themselves. They treat the bank balance like an extension of their identity. Net worth becomes self-worth. So when the number drops, and it always drops at some point, something inside them doesn't just feel pain, it breaks, because they built their sense of self on something that was never stable to begin with. Think about Tony Soprano. Built an empire, protected it with violence, paranoia, and obsession, and still spent half the series in a therapist's office, unable to sleep, chest tight, convinced everything was about to collapse. The money was there, the peace never was. Epictetus would have diagnosed him in the pilot episode, a man who confused external power with internal freedom. That confusion is not just his, it is yours, it is mine. The only question is how deep it goes. 2. You never owned it, so you can't lose it. There is a teaching in the discourses that most people skip because it sounds too abstract. It stops being abstract the moment real money disappears. Epictetus says, hold everything you possess the way a traveler holds a hotel room. You use it, you maintain it, you enjoy it, but you never mistake it for yours. Because the moment you check out, it goes back. No argument. No tragedy. That was always the arrangement. Here is what that looks like in practice. A man named Daniel spent 11 years building a logistics company from a single van and a spreadsheet. Woke up at 5 every morning, reinvested everything, said no to vacations, new cars, comfortable detours. At 43, a supply chain collapse and 2 clients defaulting in the same quarter took the whole thing down in 6 months. The night it became real, he sat in his empty office and felt something he hadn't prepared for. Not anger, but grief, like someone had died. And someone had, the version of himself that had fused his worth with his revenue. What Epictetus would have told Daniel is the same thing he tells you. You were never robbed. The loan was called back. The universe extended you a business, an income, a lifestyle, and the term ended. That is not injustice. That is the original contract, the one you forgot you signed. Say this about every bill you pay, not there goes my money, but I am returning this portion. Say it about every loss, not I have been cheated, but the loan period ended. This is not a trick. It is the most accurate description of reality available to you. And when it becomes the way you actually see things, the thief fear, that constant low-level dread that something will be taken, dissolves. You cannot be robbed of what you never truly owned. Daniel rebuilt, smaller, leaner, but with something the first version never had. A man who no longer needed the company to feel like himself. 3. You're paying twice and one payment is optional. Here is the mechanism that makes financial anxiety so exhausting. When something bad happens, an unexpected bill, a bad investment, a lost client, you take the first hit. That is real. That is unavoidable. But then you take the second hit, the 3 days of mental replay, the obsessive account checking, the shame spiral, the catastrophizing at 2 a.m., the running of worst-case simulations until your nervous system is completely wrecked. That second hit is entirely optional, and it costs more than the first one. Epictetus calls this state perturbation, inner disturbance that is not a response to what happened, but a response to your story about what happened. He is merciless about it. A man who loses money and then loses his peace has made the worst trade available to him. He has spent his sanity to re-experience an event that is already over. The practical move is this. When you take a financial hit, treat the money as the purchase price of your peace, not a metaphor, an actual decision. I am buying 3 days of calm for exactly this amount. You are not pretending it doesn't hurt. You are refusing to pay the second invoice. The money left. Your mind does not have to go with it. 4. The race with no finish line. More income, more savings, a bigger number. If I just get there, people tell themselves, I will finally stop feeling like this. Epictetus watched this exact game being played among the wealthiest people in Rome, senators, merchants, men who had more than anyone in the empire, visibly, completely miserable. He diagnosed it without mercy. Human desire expands to fill whatever container you put it in. Double your income, and within 2 years, your desires double to match. The gap between what you have and what you want stays identical. You are not climbing. You are on a treadmill that only gets faster. His prescription: stop trying to increase the top number, reduce the bottom one, reduce what you require. The cynics, the philosophers the Stoics studied, took this to the extreme. Diogenes owned a cloak and a wooden cup. When he saw a child drink water from cupped hands, he threw the cup away. He had just discovered he was carrying one unnecessary object. Modern people see poverty. Epictetus saw the freest man in Greece. A man who stood in front of Alexander the Great and told him to move, or he was blocking the sun, because he had nothing Alexander could threaten. You do not need to throw away your cup, but ask yourself honestly, what would happen to your anxiety if you stopped needing the car to signal something, the neighborhood to prove something, the wardrobe to perform something, not suppressing the want, actually removing its power over your peace? That is the structural move. That is how you win. 5. The comparison trap is designed to break you. Someone your age just bought property. Someone has a car you can't afford. Someone is on a vacation that makes your bank account feel like a personal failure. That feeling arrives fully formed, wearing the disguise of truth. Epictetus calls it an impression, a thought that has never been examined but feels like a verdict. His instruction: interrogate it. Look at what was actually traded to get what you are envying. The 16-hour days, the relationships that quietly collapsed, the anxiety of maintaining a lifestyle built for appearances, the compromises that don't show up in the photos. No one can bear a burden that isn't theirs. You cannot want the result without paying the specific price that person paid. And if you wouldn't pay that price, if you value your time, your sleep, your integrity, then you haven't lost anything. You made a different purchase. Measure your wealth against how little you need to be whole. That is a competition you can actually win. 6. The exercise that kills the fear for good. Walk yourself in full detail through your actual worst-case financial scenario, not vague dread, a specific picture. You lose the income, you move somewhere smaller, you eat simpler food, you take public transit, you tell people the honest truth. Now inside that picture, can you still think? Can you still choose how to respond to what's in front of you? Can you still look someone in the eye with your character intact? The answer is yes, every single time. The worst case does not reach your mind, it does not touch your judgment, it only touches your comfort, and comfort, as Epictetus would tell you directly, is a preferred condition, not a requirement for being human. This man started life as property, literally owned. He had no theoretical relationship with hardship. He lived it from birth. And his conclusion, forged inside that experience, was that the quality of a life is decided entirely by what happens in the mind, not what happens to the balance. Real financial freedom is not a number. It is not a savings target or a salary bracket. It is the moment you realize that whatever the market does, whatever the economy decides, whatever hits your account next, none of it reaches the part of you that actually runs your life. Epictetus had chains. He had peace. You have a banking app. Which one of you is actually free? Thank you for watching. If you want the raw, dark philosophy the mainstream hates, join my Patreon. No filters, no fluff, just the truth. I'll see you soon.